Now for the starting lineups. First for the visiting Indians, number 3, Jeff Reynolds. Steve Barrow. Now for the Chazy Eagles, number 0, Corey Lewis. Number 4, Evan Green. Number 20, Andy Goodwin. Number 25, Tony Boyer. Number 33, Corey Ellis. Please stand for the pledge of national anthem.
Hello everybody, I'm Joey Trombley along here with Sam Castine on the camera. It's Hometown Cable's version of playoff basketball in Chazy. It's February 24th. It's a quiet day here in Saturday, the 24th of February. It's a quarterfinal playoff game between the Indian Lake Indians and the Chazy Eagles. Indian Lake comes into this game. They upset King's School in the earlier play-in game to meet Chazy. Chazy comes into the playoffs as the number 2 seed. Indian Lake is 11-9. Chazy comes in at 15-4. Chazy, you could say, probably came into the playoffs losing a couple games toward the end. They lost a tough game down in Westport, 50-44. And then they played Elizabethtown here, and Elizabethtown handled them pretty easily here in Chazy. Surprisingly, actually, people were expecting a better game. And a nice play by Evan Green over to Corey Ellis. And a foul called underneath. It'll be Chazy ball. So Chazy, you can say, kind of came into the playoffs stumbling a little bit, but they played two very good teams. They're definitely road tested this year. Played a lot of CVAC teams, did very well with that. 5-1 against CVAC opponents. Their two big losses this year came to Elizabethtown, and Elizabethtown is state ranked. They did beat Chateauguay earlier in the year, a big game here in Chazy. Played very, very well. And so now it's playoff time. What happened during the regular season doesn't really matter. Each team comes in here with a 0-0 record, and it's a whole new season. We're in the quarterfinals. The winner of this game will move on to the semifinals this coming Wednesday at the Fieldhouse. This game will have not been shown by then when that game has happened, but it is a new season, and we're in Chazy early on. There is no score, and right now Reynolds for Indian Lake has the ball. He has it back, trying to penetrate the 2-3 zone. He's in the paint, and he is fouled. Kenny Boyer called for the foul, and Jeff Reynolds will go to the line for two. And Reynolds makes the first one, and Indian Lake goes up 1-0 here early in the first quarter. In and out, big, strong rebound. Strong rebound by 22, Steve Barrow, but Corey Lewis tied him up, and it is a jump ball. Arrow favors Indian Lake. And number 4, Tom King takes the shot. Big rebound. Barrow goes up strong again. Number 3 is rejected by Kenny Blair. Jump ball called. Reynolds went up. Kenny Blair, good defensive play, stuffs him. Jump ball called. And Goodwin will get it over to Lewis. Lewis being guarded by Reynolds. And Ellis comes over on the other side. He's wide open. He goes back over to Lewis. Lewis crosses center court, back to Ellis. And back to Lewis. And it looks like a 1-3-1 zone by Indian Lake. They go down low to Kenny Blair. Back out to Lewis. He penetrates. Buckets up. It's good. And the foul is called on 1-0. Chris Bain called for the foul. And Corey Lewis going to the line for 1. He made the bucket. Could make the old-fashioned 3-point play. Misses it, big rebound, Kenny Blair, but knocked away by Barrow, and Barrow takes the ball, and he tries to find Reynolds. He does. Chazy with a 2-1 lead. Reynolds takes it up. Chazy settles into their 2-3 zone, which they've been playing all year long and playing it very well. Reynolds with the ball, goes to the right side over to King. King being guarded closely by Ellis. Back to Reynolds. Reynolds goes over to 32. Monthong inside to Barrow, and he's called for the double dribble. Chazy collapses on that 2-3 zone, forces a turnover, and Lewis with the ball being guarded by Reynolds. Lewis pushes it over to Ellis. Ellis squished his dribble all the way underneath. Nice look from Corey Ellis to Evan Green. Evan Green goes back door. Chazy goes up 4-1. Reynolds with the ball goes over to the right side to King, back to Reynolds. Reynolds goes left side to Monthong, back to Reynolds, over to King. King back to Reynolds. Chazy playing a very aggressive 2-3 zone right now. Reynolds trying to penetrate, no penetration to happen. Pushes it back to Monthong. He looks inside, goes back to the point. To King, back over to Reynolds. Reynolds goes back to King. King looking to go in the paint, gives it to Monthong. He pushes it back to King. King takes the shot. It's a 3-pointer. He ties the game. It's 4-4. Lewis with the ball. Lewis pushes it over to Ellis. Ellis inside to Kenny Blair. Kenny Blair up, misses it, rebound. And nice shot by Andy Goodwin. Goodwin goes up at 6'4", Chazy. And Monthong will take it out, and he gets it out to Reynolds. Reynolds goes to the right side, over to Monthong on the left side. He looks inside, goes across all the way over to King. King over to Reynolds. Indian Lake being very, very patient on the offensive end, waiting for their opportunities. There's a shot that's pushed up. Goodwin goes up strong. And a foul called on Barrow. Barrow will come out, and Leddick comes in for Barrow. Number 11, Ryan Leddick, in for Indian Lake. Kenny Blair pushes it out to Ellis. Ellis pushes it all the way over to Lewis. Lewis all the way back to Ellis. Ellis back to Lewis. Lewis back to Ellis. He tried to hit Goodwin, but it's over Goodwin's head, out of bounds. Turnover, Chazy. We're at the 4-minute and 3-second mark here in the first quarter. Chazy with a 6-4 lead. Reynolds taking the ball up, crosses center court, goes right side, but it goes back to him at the center. Reynolds with the ball. Good pick by King. King gets the ball. He lets a 3-pointer up. Rebound goes over to Evan Green. Chazy has the numbers. Green over to Ellis. And nice play, Evan Green to Corey Ellis. Chazy had the numbers, 3-on-1, and they get the bucket. It's 8-4 Chazy. King with the ball. He pushes it out to Reynolds. Reynolds goes left side over to Leddick, who checked into the game for Barrow. It's right side King, back to Reynolds. Reynolds looking to penetrate. And Lewis ends up with the ball. Over to Ellis. Ellis in for the layup. And it's a 10-4 Chazy lead. Chazy runs the court very well. 10-4. Ball pushed out to King. He'll take the three-pointer. Kenny Blair with the ball. Goes all the way up to Lewis. Lewis goes around his defender. Inside to Ellis. Lewis ends up with it. Goes all the way over to Green. Green has the open look. And Green nails a three-pointer. And Chazy's on fire. 9 straight points for Chazy. It's a 13-4 lead with 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go here in the first quarter. We have Leddick with the ball, pushes it inside to Monthong, that's stolen away. And Lewis with the ball, looking to penetrate, out to Ellis. He controls, looking around, hits Kenny Blair. Kenny Blair pushes it back to Ellis. Ellis will take the three. Misses, rebound, knocked out by Evan Green. Good play. Lewis ends up with the ball. Lewis pushes it back to Ellis. Ellis has the look. Misses, rebound off Goodwin's hands. And King for Indian Lake has the ball. Coming up, slows it up, and gives it over to Leddick. Leddick back over to King. Or that was Reynolds, I should say. It is to Leddick to Reynolds. There's King on the right-hand side. He has the ball being guarded by Corey Ellis. And left side to Leddick. Leddick trying to push it in. He hits over to Bain. Bain with the ball pushes it back over to Leddick. King will take the shot. He misses. Rebound. Fight for the rebound. Lewis has it. Up to Ellis. Ellis looking to make the move. And a block called on number 4, Tom King. And Corey Ellis going to the line for 2. And Corey Ellis makes the first end of his 2-shot foul. Joey Bradley in the game. Galen Trombley in the game. Evan Green out. Evan had some good plays there in the first part of this first quarter along with Kenny Blair. And timeout called by Indian Lake with Lewis having another shot. 30-second timeout called. And we'll be back in just a moment. From the timeout, and Corey Ellis will go to the line for a second free throw. Chazy with a 14-4 lead with 1:35 to go here in the first quarter. And he's good on the second shot. It's 15-4 Chazy. Reynolds with the ball. He gets it out to King. King over to Reynolds, back to King. King gets it over to Leddick. Leddick with the ball. He pushes it over to Reynolds. Reynolds came all the way over, back over to King. King being guarded. Chazy playing that tough 2-3 zone. There's the shot. Boggled out to Trombley. Trombley's got the ball. Pushes it over to Ellis. Ellis scoops it in. Feed from Trombley. And it's 17-4 Chazy. Here comes Indian Lake. They're running the court. But Chazy gets back into their 2-3 zone. Inside to number 10. Nice feed. And Bain, nice feed from Reynolds. And it's 17-6 Chazy with about 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Lewis with the ball, being guarded by Reynolds. Lewis goes left side over to Joey Bradley. Inside to Trombley. Trombley misses a layup. Lewis goes up. He goes up again, gets his rebound, and he's fouled. And Bain called for, I think, his second foul. And Lewis going to the line for 2. Lewis makes the first one. Chazy up 18-6 here in the first quarter. Good on the second one, 19-6 Chazy, 32.9 seconds to go. Here comes Reynolds across center court. Right side, he has King, he goes to King. King making the move. Back to Reynolds. Reynolds over to 11, number Leddick. Leddick with the ball, back over to Reynolds, over to King. King looking for something. Shot clock is off, the shot's up, rebound Lewis. 10 seconds to go. Lewis with the ball. Out to Ellis. Ellis looking to drive. Goes up, he loses the ball. And the first quarter is history in Chazy. Chazy leads 19-6 against Indian Lake. The winner of this game will move on to the field house on Wednesday of this coming week to the semifinals. And Chazy's ahead by 13. We'll be back in just a moment. And we're back from the first period coming to an end. It's second quarter, and it is Indian Lake with the ball. Way down in the corner is Bain. He pushes it back to King. King over to Reynolds. Reynolds on the left side. He has Leddick. He uses him. Leddick with the ball. Oh, good try by Corey Ellis. And it's pushed out to King. He'll take the shot. Misses. Lewis with the ball. Lewis looking to run. He is running. Everybody gets down really fast. Lewis. He's called for the offensive foul. And Chris Bain stood his ground. Offensive foul given up. And here comes Jeff Reynolds for Indian Lake. Goes over to the right side to King, back to Reynolds. Here's Leddick. Leddick has the ball. Leddick looking to go low, and the ball knocked away by Lewis. And Monthong is back in the game, and Bain is out of the game. Reynolds with the ball. He has King on the right side. He got Leddick over to his left. He pushes it over to Leddick. Leddick goes down to Monthong. Back over to Leddick, over to Reynolds. Pushed out to King. King over to Leddick. But Chazy collapses very well in that 2-3 zone. Stolen by Lewis. Bounces it to Ellis. And a call for a travel. Corey Lewis called for the travel. Nice pass to Corey Ellis. Travel call, turnover Chazy. And it goes to Indian Lake, and it's Reynolds with the ball. Reynolds goes right side over to King. Left side to Leddick. Leddick back to Reynolds. And Chazy collapses their 2-3 zone inside to 32. Monthong. King over to Reynolds. And foul called on number 10, Trombley, before the shot. Indian Lake ball underneath the Chazy basket. And it's pushed out to Monthong. Over to King. King gets it back to Reynolds. Here's Leddick on the right side. Ball knocked away. Trombley has the ball. Trombley's running the court. Goes right side over to Ellis. And the basket is good, or Lewis. Good feed. Trombley over to Lewis. And the foul called on Cummins. And Lewis makes a three-pointer, and it's 22-6 Chazy. 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in the second quarter. King with the ball. He pushes it back to Reynolds. Reynolds goes to Leddick. Leddick back over to Reynolds. Reynolds right side to King. King will take the three-pointer. And Ellis with the ball. Takes the ball away from Barrow. Or Lewis with the ball over to Ellis now. Ellis will take the three-pointer. And nothing but net for Corey Ellis. And it's 25-6 Chazy here in the second quarter. Leddick over to Reynolds. Here it is, left side over to King. Over to Reynolds. Reynolds with the ball. He's got Leddick at the key. Leddick takes the shot. He misses. Bradley tries to get the rebound. The ball goes into the hands of King. King over to Leddick. Reynolds with the ball. Over to the right side, over to King. King trying to find somebody. Knocked away. Trombley with the ball. Trombley for the layup. Trombley misses a wide open layup and rebound by Indian Lake. Indian Lake come down. Reynolds pulls it up. Takes the shot. Makes the jumper. It's 25-8 Chazy. And here comes Lewis. Lewis trying to make the move inside to Goodwin. Goodwin misses. Rebound, Joey Bradley trying to get the ball. Knocked away. Good hustle by number 22, Steve Barrow. But the ball goes in Chazy's favor with Trombley taking the ball out. Pushes it out to Ellis. Ellis back to Lewis. Lewis with the ball. Over to Joey Bradley. Bradley came out, has the ball, looking around. Inside to Goodwin. Goodwin posts up. Goodwin into paint, takes a jumper. He makes it. It's 27-8 Chazy. And Indian Lake pushes the ball all the way up to King. King with the ball. He has Reynolds at the top of the key. Around the left side, he's got him. Back over to King. King will take the three-pointer. In and out, knocked away. Foul called on 0-0. Corey Lewis, that's his second foul. Trombley out, Bradley out. Green back in, and Kenny Boyer back in. Right now it's King with the ball over to Reynolds. Reynolds back to King. Cummings on the left side. Cummings back to King. King over to Reynolds. Knocked away, but it's knocked off Corey Ellis. And Lewis is out and Joey Bradley in. Left side here, Reynolds. Nice three-pointer from Reynolds, 27-11. And we have Corey Ellis with the ball. Outside to Evan Green. Green inside to Goodwin. Goodwin bounced it to Joey Bradley. Nice play from Andy Goodwin to Joey Bradley. And Bradley takes it off the backboard. And it's 29-11 Chazy. 18-point lead Chazy with 3 minutes and 44 seconds here in the second quarter. And Reynolds got caught in the air and he tried to hit Bain underneath, but it went through his hands. And Andy Goodwin with the ball, he'll take it up. Over to Evan Green. Inside to Kenny Boyer. Outside to Ellis. Ellis misses the shot. Bradley with the ball. Inside to Andy Goodwin. Goodwin is rejected by number 22, Barrow. And back out to Corey Ellis. He drains a three-pointer. 32-11 Chazy. 3 minutes and 12 seconds here in the second quarter. Reynolds with the ball. Reynolds gets it over to Monthong. Back out to King. King Reynolds trying to penetrate, but Chazy plays a very tough 2-3 zone. They close the gap, and it's Reynolds, or it's King with the ball right now, moving around. He's looking for Reynolds, and he finds him down on the baseline. He's trying to penetrate, and Bradley stuffs Reynolds. Ellis with the ball. He'll go end to end, misses it. Rebound Kenny Boyer. Boyer goes off the backboard. He misses it. Tipped in by Corey Ellis. It goes away to Indian Lake. And Reynolds comes up with the ball. Chazy gets back into their 2-3 zone. Reynolds has King on the right and he has Monthong on the left. Monthong posts it up, but he goes right side over to King. King back to Reynolds. Reynolds goes over to Cummings. And it's back to Reynolds. King back to Reynolds. Looking to penetrate. He's in the paint, takes the shot. Rebound Goodwin. And he's called for the travel. 2 minutes and 3 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Chazy with a 32-11 lead. Reynolds pushes it out to King. King back to Reynolds. Reynolds over to 24, Cummings, back to Reynolds, over to King. King to Reynolds, over to Cummings. Reynolds with the ball, having a hard time penetrating this 2-3 zone. Makes a move there, and he's fouled by Joey Bradley, number 55. Reynolds been trying to penetrate the whole first half, finally got through, and he's fouled by Joey Bradley, going to the line for two. He makes the first one. And Steve Barrow coming back into the game, and Chris Bain is out of the game. Rebound Goodwin. Good rebound by Goodwin. Slowing things up, goes left side over to Corey Ellis. Ellis goes back to Goodwin, over to Green. Green inside to Kenny Boyer. Boyer off the backboard. Kenny Boyer off the backboard from an Evan Green pass. 34-12 Chazy. 1:17 here in the second quarter. The winner of this game will move on to the semifinals at the Fieldhouse in Plattsburgh. You have to like Chazy's chances here so far. I know we're in the first half, but it has been all Chazy in the first half. It is Reynolds right now with the ball, being guarded closely, and Evan Green called for the pick, trying to steal it, but he's called for the hit. And Zach Mitchell is in, and Tom King is out. Cummins taking it out. He throws it over to Reynolds. Reynolds has Mitchell to the right side. Mitchell with the ball. Bounces it back over to Reynolds. Reynolds over to Cummings. Cummings inside to Monthong. Back out to Reynolds, over to Mitchell. Mitchell trying to get the ball out to Reynolds. Stolen by Ellis. He tried to get it to Green. Stolen away. And it's Reynolds running the floor. Out to 32. And that would have been Monthong. He misses the shot. Jump ball called, Chazy ball. Coach Guerin calling for one shot, 30.1 seconds to go. Chazy will play for the last shot. They're up by 22 here in the first half. Looking to extend the lead. Calling for one shot. We're down to 21 seconds. Ellis with the ball. Lobs it over to Goodwin. Back over to Ellis, over to Goodwin. Back over to Ellis, 11 seconds. We're getting down to 10 seconds. Now it's to Goodwin. Goodwin inside to Kenny Boyer. Kenny Boyer thought Andy Goodwin was cutting toward the basket. Goodwin stopped, and Kenny Boyer throws the ball away. 3.3 seconds. Indian Lake has a chance. Reynolds with the ball, takes the shot up. And Kenny Boyer, out of disgust, knocks the ball away. And the first half comes to the end in Chazy. Chazy leading 34-12. We'll be back in just a moment. And we're back to start the second half. And it is Reynolds with the ball. Chazy with a 34-12 lead here after the first half. And we're early into the second half right now. Reynolds with the ball. Knocked out of bounds by Kenny Boyer. And now they're going to man-to-man. Coach Guerin calls man-to-man. Chazy normally plays a 2-3 zone, but now they're playing man-to-man. Lewis on Reynolds. Reynolds gets it over to Monthong, back to Reynolds. He's trying to cut toward the basket, but Lewis is there with his defense. Over to King. King being guarded by Kenny Boyer. Over to Barrow. Barrow back to Monthong. Pushed it over to Bain. Bain with the shot. Rebound goes up. Ellis with the ball. Ellis sees an opening, but Bain, good defense. Rebound goes up. Kenny Boyer misses the shot. Andy Goodwin puts it up, and he's fouled. And Bain fouls Andy Goodwin, and Chazy comes out and scores the first 2 points of the second half. And Goodwin sinks the free throw. Chazy increases their lead to 25 points, 37-12. And right now, King drives by Corey Lewis. Lewis with the ball. Over inside to Goodwin, out to Joey Bradley. Bradley back to Lewis. Lewis feeds it over to Kenny Boyer. Kenny Boyer, baseline, makes the bucket, 39-14. Reynolds with the ball. Reynolds goes right side to King. Reynolds with the ball. He has it back. Chazy in a man-to-man defense. Ball out to King. King goes to the right side to Reynolds. Over to Monthong. Monthong stops his dribble, passes it over to King. King guarded by Ellis. Bain with the ball, pushes it over to Monthong. Monthong being guarded by Bradley. Over to Barrow. Barrow back out to... And a 35-second violation. And Trombley in, and Ellis is out. And Goodwin will take the ball in, and we'll send it over to Corey Lewis. Over to Trombley. Trombley back to Lewis. Out to Trombley. Trombley down to Joey Bradley. Inside to Goodwin. And Goodwin is fouled going up by 22, Steve Barrow. And Goodwin makes the first one. And he makes the second one. 41-14 Chazy. Joey Bradley is out. Kyle Reynolds is in. Barrow with the ball, pushes it over to Monthong. Monthong being guarded by Reynolds. Reynolds looking to feed. Goes in the air. And Kyle Reynolds just comes into the game, and he's called for the first foul. And Jeff Reynolds will go to the line for two. Jeff Reynolds fouled by Kyle Reynolds. And Jeff Reynolds makes the first shot. It's 41-15 Chazy. And he makes the second one. Kenny Boyer over to Corey Lewis. Lewis being guarded by Reynolds. Trombley comes over. Ball knocked away and stolen by Indian Lake. Feed over to King. Reynolds to King. Quick bucket, and it's 41-18 Chazy. Lewis with the ball. Over to Trombley. Trombley inside to Goodwin. Out to Kenny Boyer. Over to Kyle Reynolds. Nice ball movement from Chazy. And it's 43-18. Reynolds coming up, being guarded by Lewis. Pushes it out over to number 22, Barrow. He loses it. Kenny Boyer grabs the ball and gives it up to Lewis. Lewis with the ball. Penetrating. Has Trombley on the left. He hits Trombley. He goes inside to Kyle Reynolds. He tried to get it over to Kenny Boyer and stolen by King. King over to Reynolds. Reynolds coming up. Stops his dribble. Gets it over to King. King guarded by Trombley. Reynolds being guarded by Lewis. He tries to bounce it over to Barrow, but it's kicked out by Corey Lewis. And Barrow is out and Bain is in. Reynolds with the ball. Reynolds is hammered going in. Foul on number 10, Galen Trombley. And Reynolds will go to the line for two. And Jeff Reynolds makes the first free throw. Trombley is out, and Kenny Boyer out. Matt Osher in, and Evan Green in. Missed by Reynolds, rebound Goodwin. Goodwin hands it over to Lewis. Lewis goes right side to Evan Green. Inside to Kyle Reynolds. Back out to Osher. Reynolds takes a three-pointer and rebound by Bain. He pushes it over to Reynolds. Reynolds with the ball, slowing things up a little bit. Chazy with a 43-19 lead with 3:45 to go here in the third quarter. Reynolds being guarded by Lewis. He gets it over to King. King being guarded by Green. King drives baseline, lets the shot go, and swish. Nothing but net for King. And it's 43-21 Chazy. Ball out to Osher. Osher with the ball over to Andy Goodwin. Reynolds with the ball, back over to Osher. Osher inside to Reynolds. Reynolds looking to make the move. Inside to Goodwin, and Goodwin, nice ball movement. Reynolds to Evan Green, over to Andy Goodwin, and Andy Goodwin finishes it, and he makes the bucket. It's 45-21. Tom King for Indian Lake with the ball. 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Chazy with a 24-point lead right now. Chazy in their man-to-man defense. The first half they played their 2-3 zone, their patented 2-3 zone. Second half they're working on their man-to-man defense right now. And it's Reynolds being guarded by Lewis. Shot clock going down. Reynolds. Fouled by Corey Lewis. That should be his third foul. Before the shot underneath is the call. Reynolds will take the ball out for Indian Lake and pushes it out to King. They have a new look on the shot clock. We're down to 30 seconds on the shot clock. And Bain with the ball. Guarded by Andy Goodwin. The ball goes over to 32, Monthong. Back over to King. King being guarded by Green. Movement by Indian Lake. Pushed out to Monthong. Over to Bain. Ball knocked away. Evan Green with the ball. Looking to run the court. Over to Andy Goodwin. Goodwin goes up, misses a shot. Goodwin up again. And Goodwin fouled, going up again. Cummings called for the foul. Goodwin missed the layup, went up strong for the offensive rebound. Goes up again, and he's fouled, and he'll go to the line for two. And in and out. Joey Bradley in. Kyle Reynolds out. Bain out. Barrow in. Cummings out. And Leddick in. And missed by Goodwin, but Lewis hustles the ball down, pushed it over to Evan Green. Back out to Lewis, over to Evan Green. Green with the ball, all the way over to Osher, back to Lewis. Lewis gets it over to Osher, inside to Goodwin. And he thought Osher was going toward the net. He backed away, and Goodwin threw the ball away. Valigi coming into the game. And Lewis out of the game. 1:40 here in the third quarter. 45-21 Chazy with Reynolds with the ball. He pushes it over to Leddick. Leddick bounces it over to Monthong. Monthong out to King. King over to number 22. Good strong drive by Barrow. He missed the shot, and the ball goes out of bounds off Chazy. Indian Lake will get the ball. Trying to find somebody. And poor defense from Chazy on the inbound play. The ball goes to Barrow. He gets the easy two. And it's 45-23. Good with the ball over to Valigi. Back over to Osher. Osher will take the shot off the glass. And Valigi comes up with the ball. Throws it back out to Osher, who tries to bounce it over to Joey Bradley out of bounds. Full timeout for Indian Lake. They're down 45-23, 58.7 seconds. We'll be back in just a moment. And we're back from the timeout. And Leddick with the ball over to Reynolds. Reynolds crosses the center court. He gives it up to King. King being guarded by Evan Green. He finds Reynolds. Reynolds being guarded by Valigi. We're 40-something seconds here, 43 seconds here in the third quarter. And Osher trying to steal the ball. Osher steals the ball. And it's knocked away. And Steve Barrow called for the foul on Evan Green. Bain is in, Barrow is out. Goodwin with the ball. Gives it up to Osher. Osher back to Green. Green over to Osher, back to Green. Green pushes it over to Andy Goodwin. Goodwin sees Green inside to Bradley. Bradley pushes it out to Goodwin. Top of the key, Chazy moving the ball very, very well right now. 10 seconds to go here. Goodwin out to Osher. Green inside to Goodwin. Goodwin goes up for the shot off the glass. And ball goes in and out, and it's Indian Lake ball. 1.6 seconds to go here in the third. And the third quarter comes to the end in Chazy. Chazy with a 45-23 lead. We'll be back in just a moment. We're back to start the fourth quarter. Chazy with a 45-23 lead. Lewis is back in the game as well as Tremblay. Ellis, Boyer, and Valigi in the game also for Chazy. Valigi with the ball inside of Kenny Boyer. Pushes it out to Ellis. Ellis with the shot. He's short. Tremblay with the ball. And it's jump ball called. Favors Indian Lake. And Leddick will get the ball over to Reynolds. King on the right side. Chazy back into the man-to-man defense. Stolen by Lewis. Lewis with the ball. Going end-to-end. Misses the layup. And Indian Lake comes up with it. Pushed over to King. King goes over Tremblay. And Indian Lake has cut the lead down to 20 points. It's 45-25 Chazy. Ellis with the ball. Over to Kenny Boyer, down to Tremblay, and Tremblay has it rejected by Bain. And Valigi's out, Andy Goodwin in, and Bain comes out for Indian Lake. Tremblay taking the ball in for Chazy. Gets it out to Ellis. Over to Lewis. Over to Tremblay. Tremblay's got the look. He misses the shot. Rebound Ellis. Ellis with the ball goes back out to Tremblay. Tremblay bounces it over to Lewis. Lewis back to Tremblay. Tremblay gets Goodwin off Goodwin's hands, and it is Leddick comes up with it, gives it over to Reynolds. Reynolds with the ball. Knocked away, Kenny Boyer. It was Barrow going up. He gets the bucket, and Indian Lake has cut the lead to under 20. It's 45-27. Ellis with the ball. Out to Lewis. Lewis to Goodwin. Over to Tremblay. Tremblay inside to Goodwin. Goodwin making the move, and Goodwin gets the roll. Chazy pushes the lead back to 20, 47-27. And here comes King over to Reynolds. Reynolds with the ball. Picked up, switched by Ellis. Rebound. Kenny Boyer gets it. No, loses it to Monthong, who makes the bucket, and it's 47-29. Lewis with the ball. Pushes it out to Ellis. Ellis goes over to Kenny Boyer. Kenny Boyer over to Goodwin. And Goodwin fouled by Barrow. And Barrow has just fouled out of the game. 5 fouls on Barrow. And Bain is back into the game. Andy Goodwin taking the ball out underneath for Chazy. Inside to Lewis. And he's fouled going in. Bain just comes into the game and he fouls Corey Lewis, who will go to the line for 2. And Lewis makes the first shot. He makes the second one. It's back to a 20-point game for Chazy. Reynolds with the ball, goes right side over to King. He tries to drive baseline, misses, rebound by Lewis. Lewis slowing things up. Chazy back in the offensive end. Indian Lake playing man-to-man. Lewis stops his dribble inside to Goodwin. Inside to Kenny Blair. Kenny Blair gets the roll, and it's 51-29. Reynolds with the ball, crosses the center court line, looking to penetrate. He does, pushes it over to Monthong. He misses. Kenny Blair grabs the rebound, but he's tied up. And jump ball called by Al Rose. The arrow favors Chazy. And Goodwin will take the ball out for Chazy. He's got Lewis on his right and Ellis on his left. He throws it to Ellis. Ellis crosses center court, bounces it to Kenny Blair. Over to Goodwin in the paint. Goodwin posts up, takes a shot. Rebound by Goodwin. Nice hustle by Goodwin over to Ellis. Ellis stops beyond the three-point arc. He makes the three-pointer. It's 54-29 Chazy. Back to a 25-point Chazy lead with 4 minutes and 45 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. King with the ball being guarded by Ellis. Out to Reynolds. Over to the left side to Bain. Bain looking around, being guarded by Goodwin. Back over to Reynolds. Reynolds into the paint. Takes the shot, and he makes it. He plays off of Lewis. Makes the bucket. It's 54-31. Lewis with the ball. Goes right side to Trombley. Trombley looking to penetrate. Trombley penetrates, takes a shot, misses it. Rebound by number 10, Bain. He sends it over to Reynolds. Reynolds slows it up, takes it across center court. Picked up by Lewis. He goes left side to Bain. Bain guarded by Goodwin. Gets over to King. King goes right side over to Reynolds. Reynolds with the ball. And timeout called. And we're back from the timeout. Leddick will take the ball out over to Reynolds. Reynolds with the ball, pushes it over to Leddick. Leddick goes inside to King, and rebound by Lewis. Paul Sweeney is into the game for Chazy. Osher with the ball. Over to Lewis. Lewis slowing things down, calling the play. Inside to Goodwin. Nice play. Goodwin misses a shot. Big, strong rebound by Bain. He gives it up over to Reynolds. Reynolds crosses the center court, knocked away by Lewis. And Indian Lake ball. We're 3 minutes and 15 seconds away from Chazy going on to the semifinals down at the Fieldhouse in Plattsburgh. They'll either play Westport or Mariah. We'll know later on today how that game turned out. Chazy, barring a miracle from Indian Lake, will move on to the next round in the playoffs. Bain with the ball, pushes over to Reynolds. He takes the shot. He misses. Rebound by Osher. Gives it up over to Ellis. Ellis with the ball. Tries to hit Goodwin. He does. Goodwin being tied up. And stolen away. Reynolds slows it up, goes right side to King. King takes the shot. And a foul called. Foul called on Bain. And that's 5 on Bain. Bain has just fouled out of the game. And that's Barrow and Bain have fouled out for Indian Lake tonight. And we're in a one-on-one situation. Kyle Reynolds into the game and Frank Valigi into the game. Mitchell's in for Indian Lake, and Ryan Boyle in for Indian Lake. Missed by Goodwin. Sweeney grabs the rebound to Valigi over 2. Osher with the ball. Out to Reynolds. Osher. Inside to Goodwin. Back out to Valigi. Valigi inside to Osher. Nice play. Osher off the glass. Misses. Sweeney called for the travel. Trombley in the game. Goodwin out of the game. Chazy goes into their 2-3 zone now. And it's Reynolds with the ball. He goes left side over to Boyle. Boyle sends it over to Cummings. Back to Boyle, over to Reynolds. Reynolds goes right side to Mitchell. Mitchell has the ball. It's Boyle with the ball. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Cummins back to Boyle. Over to Reynolds. Reynolds looking to penetrate. Knocks it over to Mitchell. And good defense from Chazy. Indian Lake does not get their shot off. We have 1:35 to go here in the fourth quarter. Chazy on their way going to the semifinals against either Mariah or Westport. Trombley with the ball. Try to go inside to Sweeney. Osher with the ball out to Reynolds. Reynolds being tied up by Cummings. Jump ball. Ball favors Indian Lake. And it's Reynolds with the ball. We're approaching the 1 minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Boyer with it right now over to Cummings. Cummings being guarded by Sweeney. It's back out to Reynolds. Reynolds goes right side to Mitchell. He goes over to Cummings. Stolen by Reynolds. Over to Osher. Osher with the ball. Out to Reynolds. Over to Trombley. Trombley feeds it over to Sweeney. Sweeney goes up for the shot, and he's called for another travel. 39 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter, and it is Reynolds. Reynolds with the ball, 25 seconds, looking to penetrate the 2-3 zone. Mitchell takes the shot, rebound, Paul Sweeney. Jump ball call, but it favors Chazy. Paul Sweeney gets it out to Valigi. Goes over to Trombley. Trombley pushes it out to Sweeney. Sweeney pushes it back to Trombley. 7 seconds to go. Trombley looking to dribble it out, gives it up to Valigi. Valigi with the ball, and he dribbles it out. And Chazy wins this quarterfinal match here, 54-31. Guerin played everybody on the bench, went to a man-to-man defense in the second half for most of it, and they advanced to the semifinals. Chazy wins this game, 54-31. Again, Chazy will go on to play either Mariah or Westport in the semifinals on Wednesday. And as Sam Castine likes to say, that's the way it was in beautiful downtown Chazy on February 24th, 2007. Andy Goodwin. Goodwin goes up. Goodwin takes the shot. He misses. Rebound. Kenny Blair. Kenny Blair gets the rebound, lays it up. This game is tied at 43 with a minute to go in the game. And it is Roberts with the ball, under a minute, game tied at 43. It's an exciting fourth quarter. We kind of figured it would be. Evan Green steals the ball for the layup. Evan Green misses the layup. And a foul called by Jamie Labarge. Foul called on Corey Ellis. No one-on-one yet. Beatmantown will take the ball out underneath. They have a full 35-second shot clock, 46 seconds in the game.